I want to welcome everyone to the interview. Today we have Michelle from New Jersey, and she started her journey just about 12 weeks ago with Whole Story Health. And so I'm just going to keep it really simple and ask her some questions and let her fill you in on how her journey has gone. So, Michelle, thank you so much for doing this for us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
So, just to start out, what would you say your absolute biggest challenge prior to joining Whole Story Health was?
Losing weight.
Yeah.
I think that I felt like I had the right concepts in place, but I just had the hardest time. I went through my ups and downs, but losing weight was definitely, I gained weight with no problem, but
Yeah.
I could not lose weight for the life of me. Unless there was, went on a restricted diet a long, long time ago, but that was not sustainable, wasn't consistent. And within 2 years, I gained that probably plus more back. So,
Yeah. Yeah. That's what we hear all the time. Um, how did that challenge make you feel? Just being stuck, knowing that you could do this, but just hadn't found the right tools yet.
uh, I think for me, I was completely like, I gave up. Like, I was just like, what else am I going to do? And then I felt like I had to almost be okay with where I was. Like, I was like, I'm getting to this point where I have to like who I am, or I don't know. I felt like I was trying every avenue. I tried every diet that I possibly could. And I was just hitting a roadblock. So I was like, all right, I got to accept who I was. And I didn't like who I was. I was extremely depressed.
Yeah.
Um, I kept myself home. I kept myself out of pictures with the family. I know my mom and my brother and my kids were like, come on, mom, get in the picture. And I was like, no, I didn't like who I was. I didn't like how I felt in clothes. My confidence was, I don't know, it was just not there. Um, so that's where I was. And I am the type of person that I'm willing to try anything or make changes to better me. And I just felt like there was not much I could do. I mean, you go to doctors and they just want to throw medication at you, but that isn't, I don't feel like that was the answer. Like, you could go on medication all you want, but then you have the side effects to the medication. So you have a whole other set of challenges that you have to deal with. Um, so yeah, that's really where I was.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's such a good point about the meds. And they're not effectively solving the problem. It's just masking the symptoms for a while. And then you have a whole new set of symptoms that you have to deal with on top of once the other ones are unmaskable and those come back. So that's a great
Yep.
point.
It's like a
Um,
band-aid where they just put a band-aid over, a situation and then expect it to just go away. It's easy to write
yeah.
a script and say, all right, I'll see you in 6 months and be done with
Right.
it.
Right. And we've seen where that's been wildly beneficial in medicine when we look at, acute instances of injury or something of that nature. But when we're looking at the chronic illnesses that we're facing today, it's not getting better. And that's a
Yeah. Yeah.
problem.
Yep.
Um, so, what changed for you after starting with Whole Story Health?
Oh gosh, a lot. um, I think I took everything day by day. So um, every day it was a fresh new start, and I challenge myself. I'm that type of person that when I set forth and I'm in the right mindset, I'm going to challenge myself. So confidence is a lot better. I feel better in clothes. Um, I can't even begin to tell you. It's just, you just feel like a different person. Like, I still look in the mirror and I'm like, I can't believe that this is the person I'm looking at. if,
Yeah.
if that makes any sense. But
Mhm.
um my mindset was there when I started. So when I made the commitment to do it, I was like, I need to do this for myself. I have to give myself this opportunity to try, for me, for my family. Um, and I'm still doing it. I'm still there, because I don't want to go back. I
Yeah.
definitely want to go back to where I was and not feeling good about who I am. So I think that's so important. And I think it's important for my children to see that I could accomplish something like this.
Yeah.
And the cooking itself, like my son's like, "Oh, mom, can I try?" Like when I'm making something new. And I'm like, I love it because he's right in the kitchen with me. He's cooking with me and he's sitting down eating with me. So he's not, as a 12-year-old boy, not turning his nose up at it and saying, "Ooh, that looks, it looks appetizing to him," and he's eating it. So that was super important for me.
Yeah, I love that. The foundation that we can start laying for our kids just by example. And you're setting his microbiome up to crave those things so that when he's an adult, he's not just craving kid junk food.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, all of these foods that are marketed towards kids are pure junk. And then we just grow up and start eating adult junk food because that's what our gut tells us to eat because that's the
Right.
bacteria that we fed. Um, what about your energy levels? Have you noticed a significant difference in your overall energy?
Yeah, I mean, before like I said, I didn't want to get off the couch. I would come home from work, I'd be exhausted, and then that would be my day.
Yeah,
So I think we talked about like coffee. I don't really need to have my coffee in the morning to get myself moving, but I enjoy coffee.
right.
Um, so yes, there's definitely a huge increase with energy, and then sleeping on the opposite end. I had to take melatonin every night just to shut my mind off and go to sleep. And now it's like my head's on the pillow, I'm relaxed, I'm out.
Yeah,
And I wake up and I'm like, so if I don't have a good night's sleep, I'm like, okay, what happened in the day that made me not have a good night's sleep? But I have not touched melatonin probably since September,
wow,
within the first couple weeks. So that's
yeah.
huge.
That
That
is
is,
huge. Yeah, a
yeah,
good night's sleep is crucial to longevity. And it's one of the primary issues in the women that I talk to is they're not sleeping well.
yeah,
Our society does not set us up well for a good night's sleep. And so it's the simple things that you've now incorporated into your daily routine that are making such a huge difference. I love that.
yeah.
Um, what are what would you say your favorite change or results have been? Like something that really sticks out to you?
Um, well, besides losing weight,
Yeah.
um, I think one of the biggest changes that I had was I journal every morning. So I try to do it first thing in the morning, but within like 2 hours, I'm in my journal. So I write down three things I'm grateful for. I put my daily focus, and it's more based upon my health, not like what I need to do for work. It's all about me. And then I have affirmations. So I at least want to put like three or four affirmations. I think that positive mindset sets me up for my day. And I know that when I don't do it, I'm like, oh, I forgot what, I just feel off for the day.
Yeah.
So that was definitely something I didn't realize I was missing.
Yeah.
Um, and I catch myself now like throughout the day when something challenging happens or something bad's going on. You try to be all right, take yourself back, and what's the positive out of it. What I mean to say, like, positive am I getting out of this, so I can not be stuck. Like I said in the beginning, I was like extremely depressed, and everything bad that happened was because I was in that state of mind,
Mhm.
So now feeling more confident and just feeling good about myself, I think it's, you know, just setting myself up every morning for a positive mindset helps me just get through my day much easier.
Yes. Oh, my business coaches are going to love hearing that. They are huge on us for mindset work, and they will call us out on a screen of 100 coaches all across the world. Are you doing your mindset work every morning? because positivity breeds positivity, results breeds results. And you have done so well in making that a priority. And it shows every time I talk to you or we text, just your responses are coming from that place of gratitude. And you're just, one of those true lifelong learners. And I think that's been a huge part of your overall success. I love that. Um, what would you say to somebody that is on the fence about doing a program like this?
Oh, I wish they could talk to me.
Yeah.
um, I think it's worth it. I think we are worth the investment. So I just love every bit of this. Like, I didn't have these tools beforehand to know what I needed to do. And it's just like a simple thing. Like, you think something like, food choices, or, just reaching out to you through text and you saying, yeah, that's absolutely fine. You can have that. Or, let's think about it this way. And then it's like, okay, then the bulb goes off.
Yeah.
But those tools to set you up for the rest of your life. Like, this is what you need. You need to keep it sustainable. Like, you get on these fad diets, but when you don't have somebody there coaching you along to say, you're doing a great job, or how can I assist, or what can I do? I think is huge. I think it's just, for me, I was so scared. I have to tell you, like, in the beginning, I was so scared. And I think I was scared to fail, and I was scared to disappoint, so I kept myself on that track to make sure that I was doing the right thing. I was doing the right thing by me. I was doing the right thing by you. But anybody that's a little bit hesitant, they just need to jump into it, because it's definitely worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. Take messy action. Just get started. That's the hardest part, I think, of anything, is just to get
Yeah.
started.
Yeah.
Um, Good. So that's all really, really informative. Is there anything else that you would want to add? Maybe something that you've been thinking about since we talked about doing this interview that you hoped you could share? Or does that cover it all?
I think it covers it. I think um, we were talking about, like, the pictures, right? So I remember when I first got started with the group and I saw those pictures that you were posting, and I was like, I want to be that person, you know,
Yeah.
be that person that looks amazing and feels good about themselves. And I never thought I would get there. Um, so I hope that helps somebody. When you asked me if you could post the pictures, I'm like, yeah, because if it's going to help somebody like it helped me, it's worth it. Even if it's just one person, it's worth it. So,
Yep. Yep. And it has. I've had some pretty significant outreach since you let me do that. So thank you. And some women choose not to, and I totally understand that. But when I am able to show, and I love that because you are that person now. I mean, 12 weeks later, and I know it was not an easy 12 weeks, and it's not over. It's going to be. I mean,
yeah.
talk about not easy. You did it through Thanksgiving and are going through Christmas. So I love that there's a Christmas tree behind you because people can see that, like, you didn't put this off until it was easy. You were like, I do not feel well, and the time is
Yep.
now. And you
Yep.
did. Yeah.
Yeah. And when it came to the holidays, I just treated it like it was every other day. I mean, I didn't want to get off track. I'm that type of person. If I get off track, then I won't get back on. And I just have to stay committed to what I'm doing. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's definitely hard when you have events coming up or things going on and you're like, wow, I'm out, and how am I going to handle this? But you just take it for that moment and you get through it.
One meal at a time. It really is.
Yeah. Yeah.
um, once you know the guidelines and the parameters, you can make that work just about anywhere you are. And you've done so well at planning ahead so that you're not caught off guard often, which is huge. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you've done amazing. So, well, that's about it I have for the questions. What would you say was the hardest part for you?
The hardest part. Um, I think in the beginning it was the fasting. Like in the very beginning, I was like, okay, I wasn't a breakfast person to begin with, so I was like, okay, I could overcome that, but I had to listen. I really had to listen to my body, and I think you did a great job with helping me through that because I was starving. I remember in the beginning, very beginning, I was starving. But we tweaked it. We figured out what worked. And then after that, it was like smooth sailing. I was like, okay, no
Yeah.
problem. So I think it was I definitely have to say it was the fasting in the very, very beginning. And then
Yeah.
after we figured it out and tweaked it, that was good.
Yep. And I'm so glad you brought that up because I think that's one of the most valuable things about working with a personal coach every single day because if you buy a plan, you have to follow that plan and there are no amendments available. But if you
Right.
everybody's body is different, not to mention where we're at hormonally. There are times where women don't need to fast as long. And, also we're looking at thyroid function. There's so many things going on. And so, because you communicated that to me, it was like, okay, we fixed it. And then it was like golden ever
Yeah.
since. It's just
Yeah.
been like smooth sailing for the most part. So,
Yep.
yeah, that was perfect.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, that's really all we have. That was so helpful. I'm so excited to get this wrapped up and share with everybody. Thank you again so much for doing this. And I hope y'all have a wonderful holiday season.
Thank you. You too. Thank you for your time.
Absolutely. You too. And we'll talk soon.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.